Hi, I'm Becca. I created the Deluxe SeneSister business tracker and I launched it yesterday, Thursday the 2nd, and I had an awesome response to it. A lot of people excited about it and a lot of people who wanted to see a video on how it works. So I will try to be short and sweet and go through all the capabilities of the spreadsheet and how awesome it can be for your business. So when you download the Deluxe SeneSister business tracker, this is the first page that shows up. This is just an intro on why I built it and any other information, quick information you might need. It also kind of outlines how to find information in the instructions page. Next tab is the instructions and glossary tab, and you can see I tried to be really thorough on my instructions so that you have all the information at your fingertips. I wanted it self-explanatory so you didn't have to wait for me to get back to you if you had a question. Any time you have to enter data, there's step-by-step instructions on how to do it. There's some tips in here, and there's a page, a page for every single tab on here that explains how to use it. So this is really good information. I recommend printing it out when you buy it so that you have it right there ready to flip through when you start entering information. The mother lode tab, I would call it, is the profit and loss. This is an awesome report for your business. It is completely generated by other tabs, so it's locked. You can't mess with these formulas, and it pulls from other places. So you'll see there's numbers entered in here that I've pulled from other tabs that I'll show you soon. This is a super helpful report because it shows you year to date, so you can see your total gross sales, your total income, your gross profit, which is your income minus just your cost of goods sold, and then it also has all your expense categories and your net income or your taxable income down here. It breaks it down by month as well, so you can compare how your business is doing month to month. The next tab is the master customer list. This is so you can keep all of your customers' information in one place, as well as some notes. I think the best way to keep track of customers' requests is here. So I have a particular customer, Mary, who is waiting for Bella. So that I know as soon as I get my hands on Bella, I can check my notes and say, oh, that's right, Mary is the one who wanted it, and I can follow up with that. So for example, I have 3 customers entered here. You can enter as much or as little information as you want, but a customer's name must be here to show up in the customer drop-down list on the sales tab that you'll see in a minute. The next tab is current inventory, and this tab is super involved. It's all locked and you don't enter anything directly onto here, but it shows you what is in your stock right now and what the current value is. You'll see that this cost is not a cost that you would pay SeneGence, and I'll explain why. But all of the SeneGence inventory items are preloaded with their price. No cost shows up until you enter it in the purchase order tab and actually purchase it, because the cost of the item totally depends on what discount level you use. So there's no cost until you order it on the purchase order page. So you'll see here I have ordered Oops, and right now my quantity on hand is 7, and I've paid $5 for each Oops. So my value on hand is $35. At the end of this tab, there are some blank spaces so that if SeneGence releases any products this year, you can add the new items, and then the total value of your inventory is at the bottom. So right now my total value is $215. The next tab is the purchase order tab, and this is where you will enter anything that you purchase for resale. Anything besides resale products will not go on this page. It'll go on the expenses tab. So testers won't go here. Any supplies from SeneGence or any other vendor like Amazon or Vistaprint, any shipping you pay to SeneGence, any taxes you pay, don't go here. The only thing that goes in purchase orders is things you're keeping in stock to sell to customers. So you'll see I ordered a small purchase order here, for example. On 1/15, I ordered it all at the 15% discount rate. This was a different day. So these first 4 items I bought at the 50% discount rate. And so you'll see that I entered a lip sense at 50% off is $12.50, and I purchased 5 of them this day. Now, say on 1/18, I had to get apple cider real quick. I couldn't place a huge order, so I only got the 20% discount level. So now the cost is, instead of $12.50, it's $20. And the quantity purchased is this time too. Now, because of that, you'll see that that's why the apple cider is not at $12.50 or $20. It's at the average cost that you purchased it. So it's the average of 5 at $12.50 and 2 at $20. So my value on hand is slightly different, but this is a good way to keep track of what you have paid for that item on average over the year. So that's how you enter purchase orders. Only items that you're going to resell. Now the trades page, because sometimes your upline or your downline may need a color that you have that they don't. And so this takes an item out of inventory and puts whatever you traded in. So for example, I purchased a beige champagne. I had one in my stock and my downline desperately needed one. So I traded away a beige champagne, so I'm taking it out of inventory. And in return, I got a blue-red. So now you'll see if I go back here, my blue-red is 1. I didn't purchase one in my purchase orders, but I traded for one. So this trades page is where you would put that. Now the January income, there's a income and expense tab for every month. And the reason being is you want them to be separate on your profit and loss. This also makes it so that you don't have a huge spreadsheet with all of your sales and expenses for the year. So for example, my January income, my good friend Mary bought a Lip Sense apple cider collection. On the purchase orders tab and on the sales tab, we're going to enter it as 3 separate items. Because a collection, if we keep it in inventory like that, then you'd have to remember that a glossy gloss and an oops are in there. And that's not the simplest way to do it. So my friend Mary, she bought 2 apple ciders. One for her and one for her friend. And so the full retail value of each item is $25. She bought 2, so my gross sales are $50. The cost of goods sold, because remember, I bought it at 2 different discount levels, so this is the average price. So my cost of goods sold is $29.29. I charged her $3 shipping, and I passed through the $150 in sales tax. My credit card processor charged me 88 cents, so I take out 88 cents from the sale, so I'm left with, $53.62 out of that part. She also bought a glossy gloss, so I bought that at the 50%, so my gross sale is $20, my cost of goods sold is $10, and the total sale was $20, and the oops was $10, my cost of goods sold was $5, but I actually got $10 from her. So when I do the shipping and the taxes and the processing, you don't need to split that out between the items. You can just enter it once per transaction and it'll translate over to this profit and loss correctly. So you scroll over here, this is income, not just sales, because you have other income from SeneGence. You have commissions, bonus products, which are like fast starts. Anything you get from the company for free is income to you. SeneCash, if you have any of your commission check retained, you would do this commissions would be your check, and then your SeneCash would be what was left in your account. SeneBucks are at PV, so they're usually half of what, for us in the U.S., they're for half of what retail value is. Any SeneCar payment that you receive and any other monetary or non-monetary compensation you receive for working your business. So all of that is entered in the income tabs. Now to the expense tabs, we have, for example, on the 10th, I went to Amazon and I got some demo supplies and I spent $15.67. You can see in this monthly summary section, this pulls over here to $15.67. I enter all my expenses, everything that's not product for resale, in here. So I made one order to SeneGence, and some of it was for resale, and I entered that on the purchase order page, but I also had some demo products, some testers, worth $125 that I ordered. And then they charged me freight and taxes. You can see that here, and you see all of those get pulled over to this monthly summary. So if you have a whole month of expenses, you can see over here, it'll sum them separately, and you can see how much. For example, I have 2 freight charges, one from SeneGence and one from Vistaprint. The total is $42.50, and it will show you that here. Now, the income and the expense tabs both relay back to the profit and loss. So you can see my gross sales were $80. I had $3 of shipping income, so my total income for the month was $83. Now you see that the taxes are not income. The taxes offset against what you paid in taxes, because you're not passing those along to your state agency, you're just recouping your cost. Then you'll see the products for resale. This was the average. It's a weird number because it has the average cost in there. And then my credit card processing fees. So my total cost of goods sold is $45.17, leaving me with a gross profit of $37.83. You can see that's above the 50% because I bought some of the product at a 20% discount level. Then down at this half, you see you've got all those expenses translating over. So I had total expenses of $249.42. So I right now have a net loss of $211.59. That's pretty normal for a brand new business. And you can see how that works. So that is all the tabs. You'll just see if you keep going, you have an income and an expense tab for every month. If you want to rearrange these tabs, you're welcome to. You hold down and you can move it. So say February comes and you don't want to keep scrolling all the way, or it'll get to be a pain when it's like October and November. You can hold down on the tab and move it, and hold down and move it back. If you change the order of the tabs, it doesn't mess with the formulas at all. So I hope that answers a lot of questions about the Deluxe SeneSister Business Tracker. I hope that it seems like a product that you guys are interested in. If you have any questions, comment below. Let me know if there's anything I didn't answer in this video. And I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much.